background check for hiring. So in this video we're going to go over options employers or even everyday individuals have when it comes to hiring an individual to do a job. And if you want to make sure everything is legit, we're going to go over some of the options you have at the state official resources you have at the state and county level. I'm going to just pick a random state. Most states will have a very similar process to what I'm about to go through. Some do make it a little bit more complicated and have some restrictions, but overall it's very similar. So if you just scroll down here, the background check consists of, depending on what you're trying to do, it generally has its core record types. So court records, maybe recorder's office. This will depend on what you're looking for. If you, this is more like real estate, mortgage related doc search at the state level. Criminal records, probably the most sought after record. Driving records, business lookup if something needs to be verified, if maybe a license needs to be verified. States also offer a license lookup for a professional licensee in some area. Incarceration records, prison records. This is for people that have been sentenced to over a year. If it's under a year, they're typically going to stay within the jail system at the local county sheriff's jail. So this is for usually for more severe things. And then of course the sexual offender registry, and then you have your county level records. So again, you have courts. If the state has a statewide court record system, you can utilize that. Sometimes they won't, and you'll need to go do it at the county level. So we have the most populous counties for each state also. And then maybe things like recent arrests or mugshots or jail records need to be looked up, and those are done at the county level also. Property records. So let's go over a couple of more crucial ones here. So each state typically has some type of a service for background checks, either directly through the state, or maybe they will use sometimes a third party. And they'll let you know which ones they prefer to work with. And so in this case, they have within the state they have looks like a background check for specifically for employment, and they'll give you instructions on how to go about it. They also have a couple of other background check types, which we're not going to go into right now. They'll give you a cost breakdown. So in this case, if it's just a state only check, it's $18. Usually it's very reasonable. And then if you want to include like an FBI type of a check, which is a national criminal database, it's not going to be as detailed as a state only check, but it still gives you something. People do move around from state to state, they travel, so you never know. But yeah, you're able to we have located all these official sources in each state, so you're able to come down and read the instructions on how to on the different laws and the requirements of each state. So check that out. If you're doing court records, you also have the ability to research not only criminal records but also civil records, things like travel records. You're able to look at anytime somebody appears in front of a judge. It creates some kind of a document. Court records are considered public information depending on what they're trying to do, but typically they are public information, so you're able to research this court cases through either a statewide portal, and if they don't have that, a county level portal. And if you need to look at more details on a particular case, sometimes you'll have to order it directly from the court of clerk's office at the county level if you want an actual like digital image of the case or the file, or you can come in to physically, and they'll have, a lot of places will have these public portals that are made for the public to use. A lot of times they're free. Maybe sometimes they'll charge you per page to print something, but just something to know just in case. And then you have your other things that people might want to look at. Obviously, driving records. Each state will also have inmate locator. This is for the prison system, and this can be researched for free. You have the sexual offender registry, and this just covers the state. So if somebody has something in another state, it's a good idea to check previous addresses. Because you never know. People travel, people move around nowadays, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the description for sheriffsdepartment.net. Come on down and see if you can find some helpful resources for your search.